Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. While this video is for entertainment purposes only, I hope you also find it somewhat informative, thought-provoking, and possibly entertaining, one of the above. If not, remember that you haven't paid a thing to listen to it, and you can click off at any time and go watch other content. And I will just wish you love and light and have a great life. Okay, I want to tackle a little portion of a subject, which you already know what it is because it'll be my thumbnail for the video, and that is the Antichrist. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on where I'm coming from with this and what my personal stance is. I believe that that Satan, the devil, does not know the plans of our loving Creator and doesn't know the timing. So my personal belief is that throughout all of humankind's time, the devil or Satan has had to have one or more antichrists ready to come out of the wings and get to it if the timing is shown to be that in which we know that there would be the return of the Christ consciousness or Christ. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Now, understand also, I have a faith life. I'm no longer affiliated with a formal religion, but I have a faith life. So I believe in a Christ, the Christ consciousness. I believe that there are antichrists that are ready to move forward. I kind of accept that. I also believe that while our scripture has been abbreviated and changed, I think that huge truths had to remain intact, or my loving Creator would have worked in a powerful way. And so that's why I believe in that Creator. I believe in just a loving creative presence that adds so much to my life. And I'm not trying to push my beliefs on you, but I want you to know where I'm coming from in this. I'm going to acknowledge there are people that spend decades, the great proportion of their life, studying theology, studying the concept of is there an Antichrist? When will he show up? And I just want to take one small look at this topic and then ask a specific question to something that was presented to me this week, and it kind of blew my mind. And I thought, you know what? If this is a new thought to me and maybe to other people, and it may be one because we want to be very wise about this complicated world we live in and the changes that are coming, we want to use our discernment and have it very well developed so that we aren't among those that get fooled by false prophets or the Antichrist or whomever. And it may seem unusual that a little retired school teacher who reads tarot cards, kind of honoring my grandmother's intuitive gift, would touch on a subject like this that's so deeply theological. I'm going to, and like I said, if it doesn't resonate with you, go watch something else, okay? I'm going to take you to a Facebook compilation I have, and you can access it by clicking on the link that'll be in the video description box. And then we're going to ask just one very specific question using the tarot cards, again, about the topic that was kind of a new thought to me and maybe to you. And having that thought and being able to think outside the box a little bit might help us down the road when our discernment is going to be put to the test. Okay, without further ado, let me take you to that compilation. Okay, now there are many people that speculate about the Antichrist, and one of the speculations I watched recently that actually mirrored a sermon I heard, gosh, back in 2008, was done here by Dana Molina. And it's pretty interesting what she speculates, that it's possible that there's actually some specific name referenced in scripture that could hint at who the Antichrist might be. But again, I believe there's numerous ones always ready to come forward if the timing proves to be that which they're waiting on. Okay, now here's another, hang on, I should have clicked, let me go back. I should have clicked on the picture because I just want the picture. A. Westgate said during the Antichrist times, the strongest temptation will be anticipation of salvation from the cosmos, from humanoids, extraterrestrials that are actually demons. Listen to the prophecy of St. Gabriel of Georgia concerning the Antichrist. So here's a prophet, again, you can look at it from another aspect here. That really strongly spoke to me, because while I truly do believe that we have an alliance, that we have um, those working for freeing of humanity and what have you, who may be other than human or current human. We could be like time travelers, we're having divine help. And I'm willing to even encompass that there could be those that we would consider benevolent off-world help, but waiting for them to do it all is just not, I don't mean to make a bad pun here, but just not in the cards for what I see for us. But I see that there can be a temptation for that, to wait for somebody else to do it, to free us, to help us, to write our path, to, restore our DNA, whatever. And I think we need to be willing to accept some mentorship and some probably cooperative help, but don't be waiting for, again, the overall salvation, because that puts you at risk. Okay. Again, that's a Laura's View thing. I actually thought, even though I don't generally care for Wikipedia, that they had a good kind of overview of what the Antichrist concept is. And here it is for you. This is not a blanket endorsement of this complete site, but I did think that this was a good article, again, kind of an overview of who or what the Antichrist might be, and just, kind of like a beginner's primer. And then here's kind of where the last item of my compilation is actually more towards where we're going. Okay, Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That verse always speaks to me, because I talk so much about love and light. And so, yeah, we want to have that quiet, calm strength. We want to be a light in this world. We want to be a beacon of, no matter how old you are, you can do it. You can contribute. You can spread the light. You can be part of it. But we've got to be wise. We've got to not be fooled anymore. And we're doing it. We've shaken off a lot of programming that we've had for our entire lives. And anybody watching a channel like this is doing that. They've said, the mainstream doesn't have everything I want to know, and they're sure not sharing it in a way that I think has integrity and accuracy. So we're all of us looking for truth and willing to think outside the box a little bit. Now, in the vein of thinking outside the box, earlier this week, I did a video and we explored whether a certain celebrity was EGI, elite gender inverted. And I wondered why all of a sudden we are getting so much information out there about these inverted genders, realizing that it's been a practice and part of our life for a lot of years, with an eye to confusing people's sexual identity, to just blaspheming a perfect creation. There's lots of reasons for why that's happening. But here's what I hadn't considered. If we accept, look at the bottom card here, I picked it up. If we accept that that the shenanigans gang has been for decades presenting us with inverted personalities and entertainers and politicians, if we accept that, and I accept that, okay, and I don't claim to know all the reasons for it. I think, like I said, I've mentioned a couple of them that seem to be, they speak truth to me. There may be more behind it, but it's apparently very widespread and it's been going on for decades. And here's one of the things I wondered, and I want to ask the tarot cards about. And yeah, you'll watch me shuffle them so that the one I flashed up there, if it shows up, it'll be from the middle of the deck and we'll find out. Okay, here's my question. I would like to know, and this is specific to the timeline I'm on, the whole push for gender inversion. Is this a possible avenue by which Antichrist will be created and camouflaged? Think about it. If we have a lot of people that we think that we're now realizing were probably born male or intended to be male and had an inverted gender foisted on them in infancy or, in the womb with injecting hormones or however the process is done. Okay, is this possible that we've always kind of talked about the Antichrist as having a male gender? And I just want to know if this is one of the ways, and maybe part of the reason that we're waking up to the whole concept of how widespread inverted genders are. Is this because it's one of the ways that evil was trying to camouflage some of those antichrists who might be waiting in the wings? So let's ask that of the universe plus other insights or information. Are we on the right track, this timeline, considering the possibility that genders have been inverted in part to allow potential antichrists to be created and camouflaged and not, easily discerned, plus other insights and information the universe wants us to know? Let's find out together. I'm going to switch the camera, let you watch me deal the cards, and we'll find out what the universe wants us to know about this topic. It's a very extensive topic. It's a very complicated topic, and I chose to just focus on one small element of it in this video, in this tarot read, hoping for insights and information from the universe specific to this timeline, and just wondering if some of the reason for our growing awareness of gender inversions is because it's actually one of the ways that those potential antichrists may be walking amongst us on the sidelines, ready to be activated. Okay, our first card is the High Priestess, often a card of duality. Shows up a lot when we're talking about gender inversions and secrets. Then we have the Six of Cups, the Empress, Ten of Wands, Two of Cups, the Star, Knight of Cups. I'm going to share with you some of the insights I'm getting from the cards, and then we'll look at elements of the cards that lead me to make those statements. First of all, this read is showing a lot of divine feminine energy, and I don't consider inverted personages to have that. That's something that they cannot capture, is the divine feminine energy if it wasn't natural to them. Now, that's not to say that there's not women that don't have some divine masculine aspects. There's not men that don't have divine feminine aspects, but that is what you get naturally. It's not something that man's going to be able to add to the essence of a person with hormone injections or surgeries or things like that. So this card is definitely about feminine energy. And I think it's overall kind of a nod to congratulations, a pat on the back to us to add this to what we're using as far as being aware and watchful and discerning about events that may roll out in our world. Okay, now here's why I say that. Again, as I laid this down, this is the card that kind of indicates what we're talking about. The High Priestess is, like I said, it often shows up when there's a kind of a duality of a sexual identity. And that's definitely going to happen with a gender inversion. Now, this card that tells us a little more, kind of clarifies it a little bit, is a beautiful card, the Six of Cups. Now, notice we've got several cups showing up in this read, and cups are about emotions. So that's kind of interesting too, that we've got that showing up. We have the Six of Cups just kind of informing us a little more that, again, just that there are loving energies that are part and parcel of our world, And doesn't mean that someone that hasn't had something like that isn't capable of it. But again, so we were wondering, is this one of the ways that Satan or the devil could be preparing some trickster energy, some, his antichrist. And we're definitely getting a nod to this for the near future, but we're also getting some compliments here. First of all, we are kind of the present. We got a 10 of wands here. That's kind of the ending of something, so I think it's kind of a nod to the fact that we truly are in what is scripturally known as the end times. And it's been a long, slow haul, definitely. But those of us that do it because of that love and concern for innocent life. Let's look then at the near future. We've got this a partnership and agreement card here, and definitely moving in the right direction with these cards. And there's a balance energy here to the male and the female on this, very balanced energy. And that was what was planned for us in creation, was balance of our energies, balance of our skills, balance of the things that we have to contribute to, to one another. The star is showing up here again. Star, while in a political type of read, this often refers to our alliance. Here in this read, where we're just getting into topics and wondering, is it possible that Antichrist could be being created and ready to step forward, that are gender inverted? We definitely, with this, we've got some nods to that, and a nod with the Knight of Cups here, saying that, well, our discernment is going to keep many of us from being fooled, many more than if this topic hadn't been explored, not just within church pews, but in forums like this, where we think about this and think outside the box, and just broaden our worldview to not to accept every concept out there, but to be willing to consider more concepts than we might have, in another time and place. Yeah, so the trickster energy showing up here with the Knight of Cups, and he can be a little bit tricky, definitely. So the Knight of Cups shows up. While the Cups cards are all about emotions, they also do kind of give us a nod to that trickster energy that can be out there. And he is a card too of trickery and fraud and trying to get false feelings. So again, if we come to a time and place where amongst us comes someone who would seem to be fit the bill for the Antichrist, he's going to fool people. He or she is going to fool a lot of people. Don't be one of them. Okay, let's get a couple more cards because this is an important topic. We have the Nine of Wands, Swords, and then the Four of Wands. Okay, this card has one dominant meaning, and that is, while there are things to worry about and consider, it's not nearly as much as your anxiety might lead you to believe, or your fears, and what have you. Getting a lot of cards here just saying, very happy that we're considering this topic, that we're exploring it, that we're mentally considering it. And I think we're getting a lot of kind of universal, way to go, humans, with this. Knight of Swords showing up. And that's a card of discovery and then justice. So yeah, we need to keep in mind that it is indeed possible that a gender inverted individual who looks to us to be female may actually be male, and might again be one of those that could be being groomed and prepared and in the wings for such a time and place when an Antichrist felt like they have to come forward and trick so many of us. Something to think about. And I had never considered that before. I always thought I accepted kind of the male gender type of premise, or male, and I never thought about what is one of the reasons why possibly they've worked at perfecting this gender deception with the inversion for decades. So let's recap. While the topic of the Antichrist and prophecies surrounding the Antichrist are a huge, enormous topic, we're not trying to tackle all of it in this video, nor do I intend to make a series of these. I just had been presented with a question that was novel to me, and I thought I'd share it with you. And that was, is it possible that a gender inverted, seemingly female to us person could actually be one of the antichrists that are waiting to step forward if our loving creator reveals the timing, and it's the time when the great deceiver that will be that antichrist would come forward. I thought, wow, let's see. Yeah, inverted. Yeah, they'd still have that male kind of aspect that we've kind of been watching for as we learn about this topic or consider it. And so we asked the cards, is this one of the ways? Is there more information about this? So the insights we got definitely was with the basic question being indicated with the High Priestess card. That's a card that often shows up when there are gender changes and or sexual duality, things like that. So yeah, we got it. The topic, the cards were talking about the topic right from the get-go. A lot of beautiful feminine energy indicated here, because I don't think the disrespect that's being shown to divine feminine energy and the canceling of it for so long has ever been part of our creator's plan. Our creator planned for balance and kindness and opportunities for growth and betterment, and not slavery and confusion and anxiety and fear and war and all the disrespect for life that has been foisted upon the human race. Now, near future, that balance is going to be restored to a great extent. We do have some good stuff happening, absolutely. And the nod, this was the card that showed up for the current, and 10's kind of the ending of something, kind of a nod to, we are at the end of an age. And as we are at the end of the age, our discernment is going to be put to the test. We're told, be careful who you follow. Absolutely. Use your discernment. Always. Don't buy into a narrative just because it's popular. Don't accept what is told to you as truth if it doesn't seem like it's truth to you. Or just say, I'm going to hold off a little bit before I decide. My job here, my whole goal with this channel, is to have more of us, first of all, hopeful. Second of all, working on our discernment so that we're not tricked, we're not fooled, we're not distracted and led astray. And then, of course, the beautiful skill that we all have, even with our current complicated world, is these beginning skills of manifestation, so that we can work on saying, I want to see manifest a world where, for me, it's things like our DNA is restored, human life is valued, children are treasured and cherished and welcomed. There's enough for everyone, enough food, enough clean water, enough. So those are some of the things I want to make manifest, including a whole lot less government. That's just me. That's Laura's view. That's some of the stuff I think of when I think, what would I like to make manifest for the world I live in? And what I really want to make manifest is that people that watch this video or listen to me once or many times, that you use your discernment, you think for yourself, and you don't follow the herd, because, you know, lemmings go in herds and they go off a cliff. So let's think for ourselves, okay? And more of us are going to do it. The cards indicated more of us are going to do that. Think for ourselves and not get tricked and not get fooled and not get bamboozled. So yay, go humans. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and patience in listening to me as I go down assorted rabbit trails and what have you. And again, this video, I acknowledge openly that this whole concept is very, very complicated. And I wasn't trying to explore it in full. I just wanted to ask that question. Could it be that we also need to be watching for possible antichrist personalities amongst those who are inverted, which would make it more wise for us to learn the skeletal differences that truly are hard to hide, to show us when there's been an inversion. Okay, so until next time, have a great time, do something fun, be kind to others, and I wish you, as always, if you're willing to accept it, love and light and everything bright. Bye.